Good morning all. So in the last lesson we have seen different types of industries. How are these industries run? These industries are run by different forms of energy, whether it is solar or coal or any type of energy. So our today's topic is energy and power resources. So let's go into the topic. Energy is the basic form of activity on the Mother Earth. So this energy is divided into two forms. One is the renewable form of energy and second one is the non-renewable form of energy. Renewable forms of energy, see, they don't get exhausted either by human activities or either by continuous use. So when they don't get exhausted, they are termed as non-conventional sources of energy or inexhaustible sources of energy. For example, solar power, wind power, geothermal power. These are non-conventional sources of energy. On the other hand, non-renewable sources of energy, they get exhausted over a period of time. Take for example petrol. When we use petrol, it gets exhausted. So we renew it once again, right? So these are conventional sources of energy or exhaustible sources of energy, right? Now coming to renewable power resources, as said, these energy resources do not get exhausted. That is why these are known as energy of future. As we use it, they keep on coming. See, for example, solar power, as we use, they do not get exhausted. Even if we are taking the solar energy from the sun for continuously 24 hours also, it doesn't get exhausted. So that is why it is known as energy of future. So solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, the hydropower, the hydroelectricity, what we are using, all these are examples of renewable sources of energy. Now let's see the solar energy. So we have started using this solar energy from 4 or 5 decades, that is 40 or 50 years back. People have started using this solar energy. Solar energy is so abundant that if we continuously use the solar energy, that is not what we are taking from 1 hour of sunlight. That much of abundance of solar sunlight is there. We have 3 methods of harnessing this solar energy. One is photovoltaic cells. The panels what we are going to see, that is photovoltaic cells. In solar energy, normally the light energy is converted into electrical energy. So in solar photovoltaic cells, the light energy which is received from the sun is converted into electrical energy with the help of the silicon plates, right? And next one is solar thermal power appliances. So in this solar thermal power appliances, so here we are having a concave plate. So all the energy which is received from the sun is taken to one place, is concentrated at one place. So that solar energy will be taken by this thermal power appliances, like solar cookers and all, solar lights, solar cookers. So these solar thermal power appliances, this kind of refractors are used. In solar thermal power plants, very big appliances, very big converters, like very big refractors like this will be used in a solar power plant, because all the sunlight which is diffused has to come to one place and it has to work out. So that is what is in a solar power plant. So here steam is produced and that will give us electrical energy, right? So coming to advantages of a solar power plant, here we have to pay very less amount of money in a solar power plant. But this solar power plant is not suitable for all the places. See, places which are having very less amount of sunlight, places like Antarctica and all, they are not suitable for this solar power plants, right? But all the other places can take the advantage of sunlight. One more disadvantage of these solar power plants is they are little expensive. So installation charges are little expensive. So it is not possible for everyone to install this solar power plants. And now the second type of energy what we are going to see is the wind energy, which most of the people are very familiar with in the olden days for sailing of ships. Not only for sailing of ships, even for lifting of water, grinding and all, they used to use wind power only, right? A number of wind farms, they used to use a windmill, a very big fan. If a number of windmills are situated at one single place, it is known as a wind farm. And mostly these windmills, they are situated in places where you have a lot of wind energy, right? In hilly regions, mountainous regions, you have lot of wind blowing, breeze blowing. So these windmills are situated in places where you have lot of breeze or open places. Even on plains and plateaus, if you have a lot of open place, you have windmills situated even today. So in solar energy, we have seen that change of energy is light energy to electrical energy. Here, mechanical energy to electrical energy, right? Advantages just almost like solar energy only. So once it is initialized or once it is installed, we need not pay anything for the next 20 years. But installation is, it takes a lot of expenses, right? Little expensive, but once it is installed, no more expenses. And limitations also, just like solar energy, wherever you have lot of breeze blowing, lot of wind blowing only, there only this wind power is suitable. Wherever it is a closed area, it is not at all suitable. And the next one is hydroelectricity, hydropower, the third most important source of power after coal and petroleum. So this source of power is again mechanical energy to electrical energy. When the water is falling from a height to on the turbine will be turning and it will change the mechanical energy to electrical energy. So here hydropower also is one of the cheapest sources of power, but here again, just like the solar energy and wind energy, the cost of installation of hydroelectric project is little high because we have to build dams for a hydroelectric project. In India, after independence, we have so many multi-purpose river projects which are used for so many purposes. For example, the first reason why it is built is electricity, irrigation, flood control. All the water, excess water will be controlled in a dam. Transportation from one place to other. Safe drinking water is taken from the dam and it adds beauty for that place. For example, if we are going to Nagarjuna Sagar, all of us enjoy the beauty of that place because it adds beauty to that place, right? Hydroelectricity also is a very clean form of energy, does not cause any pollution, but there are certain limitations even for hydroelectricity. Why? Because a dam cannot be built in any geographical area. It has to have a vast land, and many geographical areas do not support this kind of vast land procurement. And most water has to be there in the dam for production of electricity. So most rivers in India are rain fed. If we get rain only, those rivers will be filled and that excess water will be going into the dam. So because of rain fed rivers, we do not have excess water, and even most rivers are dependent on monsoons. So that also is a reason. And coming to the distribution of hydroelectric projects or multi-purpose river projects, most of them are situated in the northern part of India. The reason is, in the northern part of India, we have many perennial rivers than in the southern part of India. And the first multi-purpose river project was set up in Darjeeling in the year 1898. After that, so many river projects were set up in many states, right? Even today here we have the Polavaram river project, which is still going on. And now coming to the non-renewable energy resources or the conventional energy resources. So the first one what we are going to see is coal, which is known as the black gold. Why? Because coal is the most important mineral which is used in most industries. The iron and steel industry, the basic industry what we have seen in the last class, uses coal as the basic energy ingredient. So here, on the basis of carbon content which is present in coal, we are dividing it into 4 different varieties: peat, lignite, bituminous, anthracite. Peat is the least carbon content. Peat is having the least carbon content, whereas anthracite, it is having the most large carbon content. So anthracite is taken as a good variety, best variety of coal, whereas peat is considered to be the least variety of coal. Coming to the countries which are having largest reserves of coal, China comes the first, then comes the USA, then Australia, then India, then Ukraine, South Africa, Australia. These are some of the countries which are having coal as their resource. Coming to India, the Chota Nagpur Plateau is having the highest reserves of coal. In Chota Nagpur Plateau, Jharia, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, these are some states, West Bengal also, these are some states which are having the highest reserves of coal in India. Along with these, Andhra Pradesh, the Singareni collieries also is one of the place which is having highest reserves. In these, Jharia, Dhanbad, Girid, Bokaro, Raniganj, these are some of the places in West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, which are having the highest coal content in India. Now let us see how to conserve coal, means how to save coal what is present, because coal takes so many years to form. Coal is a fossil fuel. Coal takes so many years to form in the seabed. So restriction of coal only to metallurgical industries, that means basic iron and steel industries only should use coal. All the other industries can use any other form of energy like wind energy, solar energy, all are present. So they can use any other form of energy. No selective mining. I want only anthracite. No selective mining. Whatever coal is present there, please take that coal. So no selective mining. Use of low grade coal by thermal power plants. Peat can be used, bituminous can be used. So that kind of use can be done by the thermal power plants. Small power plants, small coal mines can be amalgamated, can be made into one very big coal mine, and then the mining can be done. Uneconomic coal mines, we say, which don't give any money. So they can be made into one very big coal mine, and then we can take out coal out of it. And more importantly, encouragement of renewable sources of energy should be done. And the next one what we are going to see is petroleum or mineral oil. This also has a lot of importance. Why? Because today we are mostly dependent upon petrol. The yesteryear people, if you know, most of the people are dependent upon this petroleum or mineral oil for their communication. So this petroleum is generally found in the margins of young fold mountains, the coastal areas and the offshore regions. This also is a fossil fuel which is found for many years. And this petroleum is also known as black gold because it is put to many other uses. Petroleum which is derived from crude oil. From crude oil, not only petroleum is derived, petrol, diesel, kerosene, synthetic fibers, chemical fertilizers, these are the byproducts of petroleum. That is why this is known as black gold, right? So we have a responsibility of conserving petroleum also. The places where petroleum is mainly found is the Persian Gulf, UAE, Iran, Iraq, Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, Dubai. All these places is the main centers of petroleum. Apart from these, USA, Russia, China, Venezuela, Algeria, all these are some of the places, even Egypt, these are some of the places where most of the reserves of petroleum are found. In India, mainly it is found in places like Assam, Gujarat, Mumbai High, that is off the Mumbai coast, Krishna Godavari basin. And coming to the limitations, once this petrol is burning, it gives out a lot of carbon emission, so it leads to a lot of pollution and it damages the environment and the ecosystem. And moreover, while transporting, if there is any leakage, then also it leads to lot of problems. And moreover, drilling of this petroleum is very expensive. Now, how to conserve this petroleum, fossil fuel? Refining techniques which make use of use of byproducts. So that should be done in almost all the factories. Use of pipelines for transportation for minimum loss of petrol. Use of renewable sources of energy, as we have seen in the case of coal. Maintenance of equipment which is used for drilling. So that should be maintained very clearly to minimize the loss of petrol. So these are some of the conservation techniques which should be followed to conserve petroleum. Hope the lesson is understood. Thank you.